It is happening. Free agency is gearing up. We've got the qualifying offers for coring players, for restricted free agents going out, and the Fever have made their move. Kelsey Mitchell has been cored. Lexie Hull has been given an offer. We don't know what that is, so we don't know how it's going to impact the salary cap. We do know now that Kelsey Mitchell, if she chooses to do so, will get a supermax at $1.4 million, which is 20% of the salary cap, and the Fever have to carry 12 players. We also have Aaliyah Boston. What is she going to do? She can negotiate I believe I'm not sure if it's a multi-year deal. I think it's a 3-year deal at the max, which is 1.1 million. I believe it's an option to do that, or if she negotiates it with the Fever, or take what she's currently making, which is just over $500,000. And we have no idea. Again, like I said, I don't know what they offered Lexie Hull. I don't know if that's something she'll be like, yeah, I'm taking it, or if she's going to look around, see if she gets more, and then the Fever have an option to say, hey, you know what? No, Lexie Hull's too valuable. We're going to go ahead and match that amount, which of course also impacts the salary cap. Also remember this. Last year, in order to fit under the salary cap, the Indiana Fever were one of those teams that kept 11 players on the roster. Cannot do that this year. You must carry 12. So that obviously also has an impact. So it's going to be interesting to see what is happening with other players in terms of what the Fever can bring around their core three, which are now under contract. Also, keep a couple of things in mind here. I want to go back to Kelsey Mitchell for a second with that supermax, because it's important to understand this, especially now with the new CBA and these massive different salaries. By the way, welcome, thank you, and for being here. Shout out to the 19 real quick for those who don't know, because I got asked on my Easter post. That just became a thing when I was critiquing Angel Reese as an athlete, because I train athletes, and someone got very upset with that, threatened me with violence, came back later and said the only people who watch my channel are my 19 cousins. So all of you who support the channel, that's who I'm referring to when I say shout out to the 19. Like, comment, subscribe. If you're on mobile, hype. All right, we got through all the YouTube lists. Back to Kelsey Mitchell. Keep in mind, the Supermax, coring Kelsey Mitchell means 1 year supermax. No one else can take her, right? Like she's not a free agent. However, also understand that the Fever and Kelsey Mitchell can negotiate something different. It does not have to be a 1 year supermax deal. It could be a 3-year deal at the max per year if that's what Kelsey Mitchell wants, because I think that's something we got to talk about too with the coring and the supermaxes and all of this. Is there's risk and reward, right? The Aaliyah Boston falls in this category as well. A lot of people are like, well, play out the 1 year, get your money, play out the 1 year, try and get a bigger deal next year, a long year deal or whatever. But there's no guarantee. I think we all know that. Injuries are part of sports. The last thing you want is to get a 1 year deal in hopes to secure a longer term deal next year. Sometimes you have to, I get that, but you don't, if you can secure the deal now, because you don't want to go play on a 1 year deal and then get a serious injury that sets you back completely. Like, imagine getting a ACL tear or an ACL and MCL tear, right? Something catastrophic, or an Achilles rupture. How about that? And it happens toward the end of the season. Well, good luck securing that high priced multi-year deal now that you have that kind of injury that's not even going to have you ready for the final season, the next season, the final season. Now, one thing that's really interesting, because remember I've talked about maybe a lot of players won't leave; they're going to stay home, because it's everything is so unknown with basically the entire league being free agents. But the Chicago Sky have cored Ariel Atkins. Yes, that means, now again, to be clear, coring does not mean it's automatically a 1 year supermax deal. A lot of times that's what's happened, but they can negotiate something else. But again, just keep in mind that that could be exactly what it is. And then you start thinking, how are these other players out there who see this going to react in terms of how they feel it affects their value, which then changes everyone's value, right? That's what always happens when you get free agent signings. Every year we see it in a lot of sports. Somebody's the highest paid wide receiver in the NFL, right? And he signs a 5-year deal, and then a couple guys the next year sign bigger deals, and the next year a couple guys sign bigger deals. Now the guy's heading into his third year of a 5-year deal on which he was the highest paid player in the NFL when he signed it, but he's feeling unhappy. He's feeling unloved. He wants a bigger deal, right? So signings always affect the other players who haven't signed yet. So it's going to be interesting to see if that has any effect on a lot of other players in terms of what they decide they want to do, what they decide they are offered. And then of course, like as you see here, people want, hey, what about Sophie? That is tomorrow, which I think Chloe mentions, right? Um, yeah, Cunningham's unrestricted, so she'll have no restrictions in choosing what team. And I believe that is tomorrow, right? I think we'll see a flurry of, well, a flurry of signings, possibly, or I should say, a flurry of offers. Let me put it that way: a flurry of offers to get things locked up, because this is not a very long free agency period, and teams have to fill an entire roster. The Indiana Fever now have Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, and Michaela Timpson, and that is it. Well, I shouldn't say that. Lexie Hull, potentially. Right? They have her if they truly want her, no matter what other teams offer. Okay. So we'll say those four, most likely Lexie Hull. The only thing with Lexie, like I said, is there's going to be an impact on the salary cap. If they've done their job, like I always bring up Howie Roseman and the Eagles, they're going to look at everything and be like, well, we can go up to this amount with Lexie Hull, but we can't go past that because it's going to have too big of a negative impact on everything else we need to do. We cannot have an amazing 5 or 6 or 7. I think we saw that last year with the number of players that played for the Indiana Fever. You need quality. You need quality role players. You need a quality bench. You hope that you never have to go 12 deep, but you very well may have to go 12 deep, and you need the players on the bench to do that. All great teams have good benches, which means finding quality players that you're going to sign low that new average salary of $580,000 or whatever it might be. You're going to need to find some quality players that you sign at the minimum. The last thing I want to add, that I almost lost my train of thought, man. I was thinking ahead. I'm like, man, what did I not talk about that I wanted to mention? Kelsey Mitchell. I wanted to mention one more thing with Kelsey Mitchell, because we talked about this last year as a possibility. She may very well be done with the Fever. I don't think she is, because of the season she had with Stephanie White and because of the way Stephanie White talks about her and uses her. I'm just putting it out there so you know. She could very well say, hey, that's great, you cored me. However, I'm done here. I don't want to be in Indiana anymore. Please trade me. And then they sign her and they trade her, because you don't want an incredibly unhappy player. Now, I don't think that is going to be an issue, but I just wanted to put that out there because that is one of the possibilities. So what I'm really curious about next, I don't know if we'll see it unless she signs, right? And then we might get the number, because obviously it impacts the salary cap, is what they offered Lexie Hull. And if Lexie Hull is just going to sign it, or she's going to look first, see if she can get something more, and then find out what the Fever do, because all that impacts. But again, the salaries at certain levels, bigger percentage, right? Kelsey Mitchell, if they go with 1-year deal, 20% of the salary cap for one player. That's 1/5, folks, for those who like fractions, and they need 12 players. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on all this. Who else do you want on the Fever that have come back, that you want back? Like, absolutely. Just 3 or 4 players. You don't have to do a whole roster. And is there anyone out there that, like, man, that within reason, right? I mean, don't go assembling an all-star team that can't make the salary cap. Within the cap, do you think, hey, this is a player we need on the Fever that is going to work well with Caitlin Clark? Let me know your thoughts. Smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Go have the day you deserve. I will talk to y'all later.